Hello and welcome to Gel Manicure Webinar. I'm Anastasia and I'm so glad to see you all here today. Thank you so much for coming. I already seen some of your messages and all the countries that are represented here today, and this is super awesome. I'm so excited, and I'm wearing today, we haven't decided what it is, whether it's a, I mean, the sales lady told me that it's a dress, but some people be like, why are you in a coat? So just so you know, I was told that it was a dress. Uh-oh. No, I don't want to hear myself on the computer. Okay, so we are going to talk about so many things today, and I think most of you already told me where you're from, so if you haven't yet, please do it now in the comments so I can see. Today's hashtag will be #GelManiWebinar. If you will be sharing something, whether in stories, in your post, on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, anywhere, please do not forget to use this hashtag so we can easily find you, give some comments, and like it. I also love to see your setups, like how do you watch the webinar? Are you comfortably sitting in your couch with your maybe cats and dogs, or maybe you're drinking coffee or tea or something else? It's just really fun to see, you know, so if you would like to share something of that, that would be nice too. Hello, Germany, Italy, Holland, Kentucky, New York, USA, South Africa, Romania, California, USA. Hello there, Trinidad, Tobago, Norway, Slovakia, Canada. Hello there. What are we going to learn today? We will talk about products for gel manicure. And the second question about Hema, I received many comments and questions from you guys, so I decided to include it in this webinar, even though I didn't plan to at first. Because you were asking, are Hema products the safest? How do I know it's Hema in there? Is like, what is Hema and what does it even mean? We will cover this during the next probably a couple hours. I will really try to do my best to fit in time. Also, I will give you some best gel polish brands for beginners and pros, and I will explain in details how to apply color close to the cuticle without flooding it. As you can see, I'm missing one nail on purpose because I'm going to be the model for myself too. Good morning, all my sculpting sisters and brothers. On the couch cuddling with my cat. Awesome. That's what I'm going to do after the webinar, I guess. Do you like the program for today? Let's get to know each other, because I know that some of you are first time here and you have no idea who I am. So I will introduce myself. I'm Anastasia Milton. I'm doing nails since 2004. That's a long time. And also I'm teaching since 2007. And since that time, I had over 40,000 students. And this amount of students was possible only because we started teaching online. I believe we started doing that around 2014. And back then, most people didn't really believe that it's possible. You know, we heard so many like questions and concerns, like you cannot really teach nails through the camera, through the computer, like it's not possible. But now, in the reality of today, in like pandemic and all these things, we all know that online education is actually the future, I believe. And today we're all from the different parts of the world here together learning. So I think that this is quite an opportunity. So how did I end up in nail industry? Honestly, I didn't make, you know, like huge plans like I'm going to be in the nail industry for such a long time. I actually thought that I'm going to work as a nail tech probably for like 4 years, because that was the approximate time I still had remaining to study in the university. So I thought I will do nails like in the evenings and on the weekends, and during the day I will study. Then I will graduate and, you know, do something else, like find a real job, how my grandmother used to say. But as you probably already know, it turned out quite different. And I'm sure you probably will like to see it. Nails I did in early 2000s, one of my first works. I don't even remember if this is an overlay or extensions, probably acrylic extensions. So these are trees, just in case if you were wondering, like, if it's, you know, just the lines or abstract design. No, these are trees, and the green rhinestones, crystals, those are leaves. At least that's what I intended to do. And this picture, it was taken on top of the wall, because I remember I had this wall in my room, I think. Yeah, so that's the kind of style of pictures and nails we used to do. And that's another one with a Playboy. I didn't do much designs back then, so I had this metallic accessories in the shapes of different brands. I remember they were like Gucci, something else, well, and a Playboy logo. So back then it was considered kind of cool. Yeah. So I didn't make long-term plans. I just thought, you know, doing nails, what fun can be. I mean, you just do nails, paint someone's nails, then you go home. Like, I mean, maybe you do some designs and nothing else. But later I figure out that it's much more than that, because there are also competitions. There are also, you can teach people, you can share your knowledge. Now we have blogging, we have social media, we have extensions. We can do so many great things by doing nails. We can transform people's hands like completely. And that definitely changed my mind about it. So instead, I actually got a career of my dreams. I just never thought that it can be. Just doing nails could lead to the things I always wanted to do. So when I was small, one of my goals, I really wanted to have a job that will allow me to travel. You know, so I always thought you have to work maybe as a flight attendant or something, right? Because you will get to fly everywhere for free. Or you know, at some big corporate company that will send you to your different locations, you know, to their branches or something. But no, actually, it's still possible if you're doing nails. You can have flexible schedule, meet people from different parts of the world, as we do today, contracts with international beauty companies, limitless ways to express your creativity, because, you know, sometimes we just really want to do something cool, but and, you know, not on every job allows you to do that. But with nails, you just, you know, take some brushes, take some gel polishes, and you just create the beauty. You can become independent if that's one of your goals. And I mean, technically, I made my dreams come true. So one of which was travel, like it was always my thing. So I visited 89 countries, and this number still remains, unfortunately, because I planned to make it to 100, but you know what happened during the last 2 years, so traveling was not really that much possible during the last couple of years, but I think it's still in the future. So I visited some countries just for fun, you know, just for the money that I made doing nails. Some countries I visited because I was invited there to teach. Or one time I was invited to China to work on a trade show to represent NSI back then, or sometimes I was teaching classes, like I went to Chile, to Santiago, and many other places, you know, just to do classes. So I stayed there usually, did a class, and then I just stayed for additional days just to look around, you know, to get familiar with the culture. So this is how I combined my passion and, you know, my hobby and my work. And also last year I got this award, a top 10 video nail art bloggers in 2020. So thank you guys for that. I even didn't know I was nominated, so I was really happy to get that one. And now I have a question for you. How long have you been doing nails? Or maybe you just getting started? Because I really would like to know if we have beginners here, if we have intermediate, if someone's, I don't know, like a year doing nails, maybe 1 month. Good morning, everyone watching from Jamaica. Hi there. Oh, I really would love to go to Jamaica again. Thank you, Anastasia. This is my first live webinar with you. Glad to be here. It's 9:37 here in India. I'm watching and sitting on my nail art table. Oh, hi, Hema. It's so nice to hear from you. Okay, hello, Netherlands. What an amazing travel goal experience. Thank you, Willie. Yeah, like I said, honestly, I didn't know that it's possible by doing nails, but it is. So that's why I keep doing that. I mean, I still like it. And like I said, it was something that helped me to achieve most of my life goals. All right, we have people who are doing nails for 5 years. Wow. 1 year, 12 months, 2 years, just getting started. I've been doing it for a year, Katerina's saying. 4 years doing my own nails. Okay, just got my license in April, Alicia. Congrats. Okay, so we have we have some beginners here as well as we have people with 7 years of experience, 2.5 years of experience. Okay, awesome. But I'm pretty sure for all of you, there will be something exciting today to learn. So let's get started. Products for gel manicure. This is the standard list. I mean, I would say the minimum list. I didn't really include the whole variety of product, as you can see. So this is just the bare minimum, just to refresh, and maybe if some of you are just getting started, this will be useful for you. So this is the first tip for the webinar. Do not forget to take screenshots because there will be so much information. I have 97 slides. That's a big presentation that we need to fit just within 2 hours. So we will need a LED lamp, or it may be a hybrid lamp. We will need a base coat, some color gel polishes, top coat. We will need alcohol or some other cleanse solution to wipe off the inhibition layer. We will need the hydrator. We will need an orange wood stick or a pusher, whatever you like, and a nail file. Right? So that's pretty easy. And then I would like to discuss a very important topic with you. Which nail products are safe to use? You probably heard that many companies market their products as 3-free, 10-free, 13-free, 17-free, 27-free, maybe there's more, but I just collected the ones that I actually seen advertised. So I would like to ask you a question. Which one of these kind of products are the safest to use in your opinion? My first live, hi from Orlando. My nails I did yesterday. Been doing nails for 1 year. So hi Charlotte. By the way, I'm coming to Orlando in next week, I believe, for Orlando premiere show. From Portugal, doing nails for 1 month on France. Mariana's sharing. Awesome. Okay, so usually when people see this 3-free, 10-free, we automatically get a sense that if this product does not contain something, it's probably good, right? And usually the more, the better. So Mary is suggesting 26-free should be the safest, 10-free maybe. Hema free. Okay, so the point is 3-free, the first one, really have a point because this is the first and basic one, and there are 3 components that we definitely do not want to see ever, like at all, not a single %, whether in gel polish or even regular nail polish, and those are formaldehyde. Next one is dibutyl phthalate or DBP, or sometimes it's called just phthalates, and the third one is toluene. So there are 3. So, okay, Anastasia, 3-free is fine, but what about 5-free? So when there are 5-free or 10-free, usually these 3 ingredients are included, well, I mean, excluded, like not included in the contents, and then there's something else. Okay, but the point is, okay, what else is not included in the gel polish? Well, hopefully Shisha's here, that's the name of my cat. Actually, it is included most of the times in my particular gel polishes, but I'm pretty sure it's not included in yours, right? They just do not include it. They also do not include, I don't know, human hair. They do not include cats and many, many other things. So these 3 ingredients we need to make sure that are not in there, but when there are more, it's not necessarily making it like better or safer. Okay, so usually, especially when there are words like 26-free, what I figure out usually it's just, you know, the marketing tool. So I'm not saying that products who claim like we are 17-free or 26-free, they are lying to you or anything. Of course they're not. I mean, you can list anything, any 26 things or 1,000 things and just claim they're not included in there, and it will be true. But that's the 3 main ingredients we need to make sure that are not in there. Okay? That's the one I really recommend you to know. MMA. Michelle, yes, MMA also should not be there, but that's for acrylic monomer, and we are talking about the gel products today. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the base coat. Base coat is the first step of the application. It provides adhesion, and it may have different viscosity, color, and flexibility. But what makes base coat different from all the rest of the products that we use is the one that is going to be in direct contact with their natural nail, with the nail plate, most of the time, right? Because that's the one we apply right on top of the nail. Color will go on top, and top coat will be on the top of the color. Okay, so base coat is the one that is going to be, you know, in close contact with the nail. That's why we need to pay the most attention to the base coats where you're working with. So at least 3 merrily, that's such a pretty name. Yeah, exactly. So you need to make sure there are at least 3 free. And if there's more, I mean, that's not a bad thing, but usually it's just not necessary. So yeah, make sure there are not that 3 ingredients. We are going to talk about Hema now also. So there's another one we need to be aware, but we are going to talk about it like separately because it's slightly different. So, all right, what is Hema? So when I used to hear this word, this is the face, you know, I used to do because, you know, whatever I hear the long words I can hardly pronounce, I'm like, okay, do I really need to memorize it all? But it's not hard. I mean, during the last 2 or 3 weeks, I mean, I already had some knowledge about Hema, but I did the review about the new articles, about some studies, you know, about the Hema, and tried to, you know, make this information super easy and understandable for you. So I hope it works. All right, so whenever you read the contents of the product, you may see Hema appear as these 3 words: Hema, 2-Hema, or the full name is 2-hydroxyethyl methacrylate. And this is all the same. Well, I mean, whatever you see this in the ingredients list, you need to know that this is Hema. Okay, so that's the first piece that we need to know. But also, there's another type of Hema, which is called bound Hema, that does the adhesion, right? So Hema is not necessarily a bad thing because it provides a great adhesion between the product and the natural nail. And this is a slightly different ingredient, and in the ingredient list it appears as bis Hema, dihema, or this another very long word I will not try to pronounce, okay? You can just read it or screenshot it. So the previous one I showed you, this is the Hema that we need to be aware of, and I will explain why in a moment. And another bound Hema is actually, let's call it the good Hema, the safe Hema. If someone who understands chemistry a lot is watching or listening to me right now, is probably like, oh my God, Anastasia, what are you talking about? But I'm really, you know, I just heard, collected all the information and tried to combine it as a super easy piece of knowledge for the nail people. At least that's how I understood it. So, like I say, if someone's who has degree in chemistry or something is listening into it, that's what it is. Okay, so it's all about percentage. Let me give you an example. I really like, you know, doing examples because I think they simplify things all the time. Let's imagine that we have a cake, okay, a really, really nice, tasty cake, and we will take it and we will have the entire cake for breakfast, and then we will have another cake, the entire cake for lunch, and another one for dinner, okay, and then we'll repeat that for, let's say, a few months. Will it do any good for us? Well, as long as you're like the cake shop owner, maybe for a business, but no, I mean, that's obviously not very good for our bodies because we will have too much sugar like every day, 3 times a day, right? But what if we instead take a small piece of cake, let's say after dinner, like 2 times a week? Will it actually do that bad to our bodies? I don't think so. As long as the rest of the nutrition, the meals is healthy and fine, and we have some, physical exercise, a little bit of cake every now and then will definitely not do any bad for us. So that's the point. It's all about the amount and percentage, okay? So if we will have like 3 cakes a day, that's too much. But we will have a small piece of cake a couple times a week, that's fine. And that's the same for Hema, okay? It's all about percentage. So if we have Hema in a product less than 20%, then it's okay. Okay, that's really like a small percentage, and we do not need to worry. But if we have 40% or more, that usually means that Hema is a main ingredient, and let's consider it not safe. Okay, so what is safe and not safe? What if I use a not safe product on myself? Am I going to burn, or like what exactly going to happen? With some people, nothing's going to happen, like nothing at all, because some people are very, resistant to any kind of products, while some people may experience allergic reactions to many, many things. Like you probably know at least one person who's allergic to cats or oranges or dust or, just anything. And unfortunately, it doesn't matter what brands say, almost anything can cause allergic reactions. So even the so-called the safest products out there still cannot be safe and cause allergic reactions to a particular person, okay? Even less than 20% Hema and so on. So we never have this 100% guarantee, but most of the time, okay, for the most cases, less than 20% of Hema concentration is okay, is safe, okay? And also another, bad news probably about allergic reactions is once a person develops it, usually there's no going back. So once it happens, we really need to be aware of it and be super, super careful. Okay, I hope, let me know but if you eat the whole cake at once, you only had 1 slice. I never thought about that way. Yeah, that's, you guys know how to how to trick the system. I like it. All right, so how to figure out the percentage? Okay, Anastasia, that's great, but nobody actually says how many percent do we have. There are a few ways to figure it out. First, and the most simple one is MSDS sheets. Most companies have them on their websites, and when they don't, usually you can ask for it through the email. And I did a test. I actually sent the request to CND, to Cuba, and they replied within like a couple days and sent me those. So usually it's pretty easy to find. Then we have the ingredient list on the back, and okay, I actually do have some examples. Okay, so let me change it. No, not this one. Okay. Oh my goodness. Okay, that's probably still too small for you to see. Let's try this one. So once you see the ingredient list, the first ingredient is the major one. Okay, so we definitely do not want to see the Hema first. Okay, if it's in the first place, then it's obviously a high concentration, and I recommend you not to use it. Then we have the second one, and then we have the next one and next one. So I do not see. Actually, this is a Madame Glam brand, and they, well, at least they marketed their Hema free, and I do not see it at all in the ingredient list. So when you see it on like in the first one, I don't think I have the one when it's like on the top. Okay, so here's another example. This is by Accents. So the first one we see is dye Hema. Remember, this is the bound Hema, which we consider as a good Hema. But then we have the second one, which is hydroxypropyl methacrylate. Okay, that's very, the name is very similar to Hema, but it's not. And then we have the actual Hema on the third place. Okay, so when it's third on the, and then we have this entire list, it's also probably less than 20%. By the way, sometimes I was able to find the MSDS papers, and it actually stated the percentage, but sometimes, well, it's not included. Okay, so this is how you can see this percentage. So first place in the list, usually it's high percentage, middle or end of the list, low. That's approximate. Ingredients are listed in order from most to least, so you can gauge how much of each is included. Oh, thank you. Well, I like this. I mean, that was so much simpler than I explained in just one sentence. I have reactions to some ingredients and have to get MSDS now before buying any brands. Michelle sharing. Yeah, exactly. Some people are so sensitive to many ingredients, so they need to thoroughly read through the entire ingredient lists all the time. That's okay. That's too early for that. So let me know if this is clear for you, because I heard that now, as companies also started to market that our products are Hema-free, that we do not include Hema in our lists, people, nail technicians and nail enthusiasts started to pay attention to it and wonder like if it's included in it. There are also some brands, and I get this question so often, mostly from my followers from Russia, from Poland, like, how do I know if there's no ingredient list on the back? Because sometimes it happens, like, you know, sometimes there's just nothing. Well, I would say if there's no ingredient list on the bottle, which may happen, you're not able to find this SDS information on their website, and you're not able to reach out to them, so they will send you this information. Well, I mean, that's, you know, that's questions, and I don't know any other ways to figure out the ingredient list that maybe I would not recommend to use this brand. Okay. So these are some best color gels for beginners. Honestly, when we started collecting these brand names, so my first idea was to collect some of the, you know, products according to the ingredients, but this was hard because some brands are changing their formulas from time to time. So we just included the brand that we like according to their color coverage, okay? So the ones that, in our opinion, work best for beginners. And what is different between beginners and pros? Well, I think for beginners, the best quality color is when it's covering the nail within just one coat, when it's easy to apply, and when it's not too runny. That's, you know, the qualities I was looking for the brand for beginners. And as for pros, it's also very similar, but I think as pros means you do have some experience in applying the color. So I didn't take in consideration the consistency as much. Yes, like for Semilek brand from Poland, I had to Google it. Okay, I have reactions to some. Oh, okay, I already read that one. What about Beatles Gel Polishes? Guys, so there are so many brands I did not include. For example, Beatles, I never tried it, so I don't know. So it doesn't mean it's bad, or, you know, we just haven't tried all of the brands out there because it's impossible. There's too many of them. There are also some brands that are okay, but just in my opinion, the colors, you know, they're a little bit hard to apply. That's why I did not include them in the list. So once again, this is just my own opinion, and I'm pretty sure there are more better brands out there, and hopefully over time, maybe we will collect a longer list. So let's talk about the base coats again. Base coats have different qualities. Besides, this is the first step of the application. They provide adhesion. They also may have a different consistency. the color, right? They're clear, they're like white base coats, they have different flexibility, and ingredients. We just talked about ingredients. Let's talk about the other three qualities. Consistency. Consistency, I think you're all aware what it is. So it's whether the product is runny or it's the opposite. So it should be, I mean, it can be thin, maybe medium, or it may be a thick consistency. Usually the thick consistency base coats, they usually have names like builder in the bottle, or rubber base. Let me know if someone heard this name, because I remember there was a time when most people got so confused because of this name. They were like, what is rubber? Is there an actual rubber in the ingredients? No. And I haven't figured out completely why it was called rubber, but what I recall is this is just the thick consistency base coats. All right, let me switch to this. So this is just a regular black background and a film folder. Just wanted to show you that actually I do not need, I mean, to wear gloves, because I'm just going to show you some base coats, but this is probably already a matter of habit. So every time I play with the products, whether it's just doing swatch or just trying their consistency, I try to wear gloves to avoid touching the product. This is the #1 rule, the best rule for you to avoid allergic reactions. Whenever you're not in contact with the uncured product with your skin, you're protected. I'm still confused. Lisa, okay, so there's Hema that may be included in the base coat. So wherever you see the Hema of concentration less than 20%, it's fine. Okay, whatever it's more, then I do not recommend to use it, because there are high risk of allergic reactions. Okay, so it's really, I'm sorry if I made this complicated, but have you tried Victoria Bean brand? No, I don't even think I've ever heard it. Okay, so let's take a look at the bases. So this is one of the base coats that I do not like. This one is from China, but I just took it as an example to show you. So I think you can see the consistency. Oh, actually, that's a weird consistency. I would say uneven, but it's rather runny. Yeah, I would probably call it a weird consistency. So whenever you see, I pull it, see, it actually falls down from the top of my brush pretty fast. And let's take this one. This one is by Leonel. This is like a popular Russian brand, but compared to it, the consistency is very thick. So you see the drop from the brush will fall in, quite a time. I think you can, my goodness, I knew it would be a challenge for you to show the clear products, but I hope I did my best. So you see this one is already spread out there, while this one is still kind of holding its shape, because this one is way thicker. So the easy comparison with the real life, let's say thin consistency is something that has the consistency close to water or olive oil. Okay, medium is, no, actually thin, I would say thin is more like a water or like colored water. Medium is more like an olive oil, or like a thicker kind of oil. It takes some time until it starts to move. And thick is like, well, there's a huge range of thick, but I don't know, like whipped cream, something that doesn't move that much. Okay, so which consistency is the best? There's no such thing, and you also need to be aware that consistency has nothing to do with the flexibility, with the quality of the product, like nothing. So you can actually choose the one that you prefer. I personally like medium or thin because they allow me to work fast, right? Because once you apply and it's running, you just do not have this time to move it around, to fix it, and you just have to quickly cure it in the lamp. That's why I like it. but for beginners, I think the medium or thick might work better. However, there are some clients where I still need to use a thick one. Let's say the clients with long nails, clients with nails that need to be to have an additional layer in order to fix some imperfections, you know, some uneven surface. So ideally, I think it's better to have at least 2 different types of base coats of a different consistency. One of the base coats that I really like, and I mean, let's say rather, I think it's in a medium price range, right? The Madame Glam. So this one is, oh, this one is like semi-transparent pink color. Oh, finally, actually, you will be able to see this color because it's not transparent. It's rather thick, but it still self-levels a little bit. So it's not, you know, too thick that you will not be able to apply it, but it's still thick enough to be able to build, you know, the apex, the structure. So I can definitely recommend this one if you're looking for, you know, like builder sock-off gels. I think they also have a clear one, but I mostly use the pink one. Many brands also offer builder in the bottle. Actually, I'm not sure about this one, Wildflowers, but also you need to check with the manufacturer, you know, to ask them directly, because sometimes build or builder in a bottle does not necessarily mean that this is a sock-off gel. Because I know there is the gel by En Vogue, the Canadian brand. It's also called builder in the bottle, but it's an actual hard gel. It's just in the bottle, okay? So also you need to pay attention to it, because this one, the Madame Glam, it actually says that this is the sock-off builder gel, okay? That means you can safely apply directly on the nail and, you know, just work with natural nails. All right, so rubber or resin based, this is another word that I hear from time to time. It usually refers to the base that has a thick consistency. Okay, guys, so I see that you're asking me about a bunch of brands, and most of them I haven't tried. Well, I only can say that Bianca is asking about Uno, like U-N-O. I liked this one, and for the light elegance, I did try some of their color gels. They're good. I use Madame Glam a lot. Indigo or crystal nails. I do have one white gel of crystal nails. I use it for smile lines, but I never tried their base coat or anything else. As for the rest of the brands like Luxton, Oxy, P&B, NUB, no, unfortunately, I've never tried this. But thank you, yeah, for all these questions and recommendations. I will definitely take a look at your recommendations, and then maybe you should try some of them. All right, so then let's talk about the colors. Base coats as well as actual colors may also come in different ones. Remember when we just had gel polishes on the market? When they just appeared, we only had a clear option. But now we have the whole variety of them. So they're clear, they're like white. For example, I have this one. This is called a white base coat by Dance Legend, and it's an actual white, and I would say rather thick. I think I own a black one, and like this one I just showed you by Madame Glam. This one is semi-transparent pink. Now let's, I would like to ask you another question. So which color, in your opinion, will have the best adhesion with the nail plate? Clear, nude, white, black, or colorful. They're actually base coats of different colors. I think I have a video on my channel with a yellow base coat, and there's another one with a dark brown. So technically, any color you can think of. I think most of the brands have a base coat that has this color already. Imagine being allergic to acetone. Enchanted nails. Actually, You can Google. I've seen a video, and there's also a thread on Reddit of a girl who's allergic to water. And yeah, I also thought it's like impossible. I mean, how can you be allergic to, how do you go outside when it's raining? But she actually explains how she lives, how she like takes bath and everything. It's, it's a struggle. But so at this point, I realized that, people can be allergic to anything at all. So clear. Okay, guys, good job. Clear so the light shines through. Exactly, because clear, it's like the original color, and whenever we have any other color, whether it's nude or white or black, we have something added to it. And yeah, so the clear is the best one. That's why I recommend you, whenever you have a client that you have some doubts, let's say he has thin or brittle nails, or you're just not sure if this product is going to work well on her, always use a super thin, clear layer first, and then use any color you want. And yes, I know that like color base coats, even the white one is supposed to be used right on top of the nail. A clear still gives a better adhesion. So with some clients, when you're confident, it's fine to use. I do use a lot. I use like nude base coats right on top of the bare nail on myself. On some of my clients that I just know that do not have any problems with nails, they're strong, they're healthy, they're not damaged. But whatever with other clients, it's better to use a clear layer first. Okay. Then let's talk about the flexibility. So flexibility is something that, let's say this lint-free wipe, it's flexible. It's just easy to flex it, to move it around. And I don't know, this box, this like piece of box, well, it's a little bit, but not that much, okay? So they're obviously two different materials, and they have a different flexibility, and the same for the base coats. So there's the soft ones that are very, very flexible. There are medium ones that are, kind of flexible, and they're hard that almost not flexible at all. And with the color or consistency, it was obvious, right? We can easily check it. I mean, the color, we can just see it. The consistency, we also can just open the bottle and see what the consistency is like. And flexibility is something we cannot really see or tell. I mean, it's really complicated to see, right? But there's actually a simple flexibility test that you can run with all your products, and we can do it right now. Actually, I never made the test for these three products together, so let's do it right now. Actually, I'm curious, so it will be, like a new test for me too. So let's once again take my least favorite Chinese brand. So I'm just using a black background for you guys, so it will be easier to see. Normally, like, you do not need to use it. And this is just a regular film folder. I will apply, like a certain amount of the products also, so it will be easier for us to see and to test it, but you do not need to waste that much product, of course. I mean, for the test, it's enough to apply like 3 times less. But actually, that's probably my, I don't know, something that I always do. Whenever I mix the color, let's say I would like to mix some new shade, I mix so much, and then I just use, a couple drops of it just for one nail, and then I'm like, oh my God, what am I going to do with the rest? And then I find some container to keep it, and then I never use it. Okay, that was just a little bit of complaining, me not being able to understand the amount. Okay, so this is another one of the thickest one that I have. I'm just really curious how they are in comparison. So you see, this one is different in application. Oh my goodness. Okay. So when you're doing this test, do not apply it's like super thin. It needs to be a little bit of thickness because once you apply it on the nail, you'll also need to have some layer, right? Okay, and let's do this last, the Madame Glam one. Which base coat would be the best for thin nails that tend to split? Medium or hard, like flexibility base coat? Actually, that tend to split, you know what I would recommend? The best recipe for this kind of nails, use any good base coat that you have, like a thin coat, cure it, and then use the hard gel or polygel on top. Okay, at least this one we can clearly see. And then we are going to cure it in LED lamp for 30 seconds. And we'll just fold it so it is going to fit in the lamp. Shouldn't you use clear so you have something to file down to? Omnia Andrea asking, well, yeah, if you have a clear product underneath, that's really nice because, yeah, if you decide to change the color, you can. But sometimes, you know, let's say if you use nude or colors like this, it's like semi-transparent pink, it's still nice to have it underneath. I mean, you file it down, let's say, whatever it was on top, like French nails or black nails, and there's still a nude natural color underneath. But when you're using white base coat or black base coat, then yeah, sometimes you're like, you know, you have to file it down all the way, or you have to soak it off. But sometimes, you know, it made sense for me at the beginning a lot. Let's say white base coat is awesome for colors like neon colors or designs, because you do need a white background sometimes. Black background, the same. Sometimes you need black for cat eye gel polishes, or I don't know, some space design you would like to do. Okay, these are base coats back from the, okay, so this is the Chinese one, the Russian one, the Madame Glam one. So you can run this test with all of your products easily, but do not forget to clean the sticky layer. So the inhibition layer, also known as sticky layer, is also an uncured product, okay? This is also an uncured product, and all problems, all allergic reactions appear only when someone is in direct contact with the skin and uncured product. All right, so you need to do everything possible to not let that happen, because when the product is cured, I mean, this nail is cured. I mean, do you think something happens when you're touching the nails, when you see these color charts in the salons? No, there's no harm in the cured product for us. So we need to be careful only when we're dealing with uncured product. And as for gels, it's pretty easy. Whenever you feel something sticky, then it may be something that you do not want to touch. Okay, take the sticky layer off, and then we are going to separate it from the film. And this is how, well, this one is quite uneven. And okay, so this one is pretty hard. So you will guys need to believe me, because this will be hard also to show it even on the camera, because you cannot really feel the consistency. Okay, this one is way harder, like the Russian one. I almost feel like if I do make it harder, it's about to break. So I would say this one is a hard one. And Madame Glam one is, ooh, this one is really flexible. Okay, so it also, in some ways, I mean, I was doing fast now, maybe. The layer I did was a little bit uneven. Okay, so the point of this test now for me is just to show you how you can do it at home. So I would say this one is definitely the most flexible. Maybe this way you will see. So I fold them at once and then I release it. Well, no, it still looks the same. Okay, so you'll just have to trust me. So this one feels like super soft, super flexible, while this one, I feel like it's, it's like about to break. And this one is something in between. Well, this one's also pretty flexible, very close to this one. Okay, so this is how you know the flexibility of the base coat. Okay, Anastasia, we did this test. What now? Well, now at least you will know. So when the base coat is very flexible, super flexible base coats, they usually have a good adhesion and they do not peel too much from the free edge. So you can use them for this type of nails. While the versions that are not as flexible may have some issues with peeling from the free edge, but only if you're dealing with the thin brittle nails. Okay, so, let me simplify it again. Thin nails that tend to have this peeling cracks on the free edge, flexible or soft base coats will work better for them. All the rest, not that important. Strong, healthy nails, use whatever product on them most of the time, as long as you follow the instructions, it's going, to work good. Which base is if I have a paper thin nail? Okay, so paper thin nail, what does it mean? Let's see, I actually do have a paper. If a nail is thin like that, that means what? That means it's super flexible. Okay, so what I would do, what I actually have, if you're watching my channel, you definitely know that I do have some clients, models with damaged nails after like nail salons or maybe their own experience on themselves. So the best way I figured to cure it, to fix it, is first to use a base coat that's rather flexible, that has a good adhesion. For example, the one that I use a lot, like this one by Cupa. I used to use Luxio, the Canadian brand, before, but now I do not like it as much. I don't know, just maybe the consistency changed. And then on top of that, you can use technically any builder base coat, or it really depends on the nails. If they're like really paper thin, then yes, it's better to use another sock of gel on top to build the structure. Because if you will apply a thin coat of another product, it doesn't matter how good or bad it is, it just will not be enough to hold this nail and to protect it. I hope it might make sense. Actually, I think when we apply base coat, like most of the time, we still need to build some kind of a structure, right? Because when we do extensions, we build apex, we build sidewalls, and we need to do the same on the natural nails. But some nails do not need it as much, right? Some nails are already thick, are already naturally healthy, do not tend to break as much. So in that case, we will be just fine with a thin coat, with a thin overlay. But some nails are flat or damaged or paper thin or brittle or tends to break. So in this case, we need a thicker application that will provide this strength. I have a semi-irrational fear I'm going to develop an allergic reaction from all the sticky bottles of gel at my school that nobody ever cleans. Kristen, I would not call it irrational fear, honestly, because to me it's 100% rational, and I totally understand because I actually been to places where it felt like this. I was like, oh my God, I'm even afraid to touch it. So what I can recommend, use gloves all the time. I mean, as long as you touch the bottle, no matter how sticky it is, if you have the gloves at least on yourself, you do not have to worry. So then when you use this one particular bottle on the client, after, well, I'm not recommending to clean the bottles on the entire school, okay? That will be probably weird advice, but you know, whatever you're done, if there's some, you know, product remaining outside or on the top, it will never hurt, you know, to clean it, you know, just to provide a less exposure to the skin. Okay, so do everything that is in your power to avoid direct contact with the skin. At first my nails were always okay. I used IBX system, but now they're so bendy under hard gel overlay. My gel is extreme hard. Maybe it would help if I pick something more flexible to be and with my own nails. Actually, Marja, thank you for that tip. IBX is also another very good product for thin, paper thin, and damaged and brittle nails. So I also can recommend that. And you can use it underneath any kind of overlay. But now there's some bendy under hard gel overlay. The thing with the hard gel is because hard gel, that's why it's called hard, it's not flexible like your nail. Okay, makes sense? So just imagine that you have this flexible nail, then you just put something hard on top, okay, and then your nails grows and it wants to move, but this will not allow it. So what will happen? A little bit of misunderstanding, also known as lifting from the free edge. That's why the solution here can be the flexible thin layer of clear base coat. And if the nail is really thin, I would not recommend to apply the hard gel overlay on top. Do the soft gel overlay instead, because soft gels, that's why they're called soft, they are more flexible than hard gels, and they will be, you know, better friends with these types of nails. You know, whenever the nail will try to move somewhere, the product may slightly follow. That's probably a weird explanation, but you know, just so you understand. Okay, so hard gel is a great product, but I think it's the best for extensions. And also it may work for an overlay, but only if the nails are, you know, normal, strong, not flexible. Like if the nails are just stay where they are. Because if they're not, most of the time you will experience product lifting on the free edge at some point. Okay. It is possible to develop an allergy to anything, unfortunately, Michelle. Yeah, exactly. But as for the nail products, well, I mean, any products, as long as we protect ourselves as much as we can, it will be, well, hopefully, it is not going to happen. Okay, what about color application? I would like to talk about some colors now, because I know that's one of the biggest concerns I get, and it's probably one of the most frequent questions in my direct messages regarding overlays, gel manicures. Like, Anastasia, how do you get the color so close? Also, there is one video that got viral, and I get accused of, like, Anastasia, that's not the real finger. You know, when, well, this is not a real finger, but on that video, that was an actual finger of a live model, and I apply color close to the cuticle, and everybody saying, no, that's just plastic finger. It's just not possible to the color be applied so close, but it is. So this is the chair with 3 legs. Okay, so what is going to happen if we will cut one, you know, if we eliminate one? Well, it will not be as comfortable to sit on it anymore, right? So that's just how it works. So there are 3 important steps that we need to follow to be able to create this perfect color application. And whenever one is missing, it just is not going to work. First one is Cuticle Care, and even though we do have a scissors icon, trimming the actual aponicum and cuticle is not necessary for this, but we need to push it back and to do all the skin prep. Then we have natural nail prep, and then we have the base coat application. So if we did bad on some of these 3 steps, then it doesn't matter how hard you try. And today I'm going to show you a great 2 techniques actually that I use myself, that I teach my students, that you can use like today. The color application close to the cuticle without flooding it. But these 3 steps are still needed, because if some of these is just missing, it's not going to work. And now I will explain why. Okay, so cuticle care includes pushing back the skin, buffing the sidewalls, cleaning the spreading part of the cuticle from the nail plate, and the last part, trimming, is optional. So, I mean, it is not necessary as long as it's not on the nail plate. We talked about this a lot about in my Russian webinar. So let's say if you're from countries like if you're from Russia, like me, or from Poland, then obviously most of your clients will demand for you to trim the aponicum. But in some other countries, people are not, so crazy about it. So it's really up to you. But we still need to clean the nail plate, otherwise we will not be able to apply the product. Okay, so this is the first example of cuticle care, and obviously this nail is not ready yet for the color application. And why is that? Because we see the cuticle on the nail plate, right? It's not pushed back, it's still on top of the nail plate. We have some product leftovers, so it's just not possible to apply the color on top of this one. Okay, while this nail is ready for it. We can see the clean nail plate, we can see the skin pushed back, and even though there is some clear product remaining, you probably can see it, it's okay because it's not lifting. So this nail is definitely ready for it. Yo, Anna's nail. Oh my, yes, this is Anna's nail. And guys, every time she comes, we do so many photo and video content. I use her nails a lot to explain, because I think it's just easier to see, right? Because you can, I use the macro lens to take this picture, and you can see in details all this spreading cuticle on top of her nail plate. So it's just easier, to see it. Yes, it's Anna. That's so nice that you guys recognized her. Okay, she already knows that she's a superstar. Okay, this is the correct one. So then we have a natural nail prep, which includes shaping, removing enhancements, if any, buffing off surface shine, buffing the free edge to make it smooth, applying the hydrator on top and underneath, and applying primer, but it's optional. I do it only if I have some doubts if the adhesion is going to be good, but with most nails we don't really need to do that. So let's say this nail is not ready for the base coat or color application yet, because we can see some cuticle on top of the nail plate. You see this whitish part on top and in the corner. We still can see the shine that needs to be taken off. And well, I think that's it for this nail, okay? Well, this nail is definitely ready for the application, because we can see the clean surface, the skin is definitely in good shape for the application. I mean, it is ready. There's no spreading cuticle on top of the nail plate, nothing in the corners, nothing on top. And it looks like it's buffed. It looks like we filed off the surface shine already, which means the adhesion is going to be good. Kristen is asking, is it weird? I love looking at crusty cuticles like that because I can't wait to fix them. Yeah, Kristen, I understand you, and I feel exactly the same. But since Anna is my client, I mean, that's what I do to her all the time. And then we have a base coat application, which is also very important. We need to apply thin coat. We need to not touch the skin. We need to fully cure it and ideally avoid bubbles. Bubbles, they're not going to do anything with adhesion, especially if it's just one small bubble somewhere. But bubbles will make it challenging for you to apply the color. So that's why the only reason why we should avoid them. When I tell people that you should avoid touching product with skin, most people think, well, of course, I'm not, doing this, obviously, but actually when you apply the product and you accidentally touch the skin a little bit, usually that's when it happens, okay? That's why when you apply base coat, you should be super careful and do not touch it, all right? So this is a bad example of base coat application. It actually looks quite good and perfect if we just look at it like this, but once we look closer, you see right there in the corner, it is touching the skin. And it's, well, in this picture, it's already cured, which means it's bad. Why? Because it's touched the skin, potential allergic reactions. Second, you see this, we technically made a route for the color to spread on. So once you have this bridge from the nail going all the way to the skin, which is made of base coat, then you apply the color, and even if you're not going to touch skin with your color this time, the color will still want to spread to this bridge all the way to the skin. I hope that makes sense. Okay, that's why it is so important to not do this. And if it happened, you need to fix it with the orange wood stick immediately, or if it's cured already, then you can only fix it with an e-file. Okay, can I say again the natural nail prep? Oh yeah, that's actually the next one. Okay, so this is actually it's base coat and color. Oh well, it was really hard to find this kind of close-up, but I think you will understand the point. So if we will take a look there, I would say it's not perfect. I still can see there is some, parts of the skin, but the color and the top coat is definitely not touching the skin, right? I mean, from this view. It was applied pretty close to the skin, but still not touching, right? And there are no, I call it, bridges. There are no bridges that lead to the skin. So I would say this kind of application was okay. Okay, so nail prep, here's the slide. But guys, you will be able, once we finish this webinar, to rewind it and fast forward if you missed some of the particular slides. Okay, so also what I can see that you're asking about some different brands. That's why I wanted to draw your attention to the base coats, because once again, base coat is something that is touching the nail plate. And what we are going to use on top, right, technically the color is not going to touch the skin or the nail, right, if you do it right, as well as the top coat. That's why the base coat is the most important. That's why I'm not saying that we can use any kind of colors or top coats out there. It's still better to work with professional, with safe products. However, I do have some affordable brands that I think is okay to use for the nail art, that still goes in between the layers. But that is going to work only if you yourself, you are not allergic to this product, okay? Because if you are, then it's better to not use something like that at all. How do you fix when the top coat touches the skin? It tends to spread. Nika, well, it's from the beginning, you need to try to apply so it is not going to touch. If it does, then it's you can keep the orange wood stick. You can just use the orange wood stick itself, or sometimes you can also use, a lint-free wipe. Then you just wrap it around, so it will still be Well, it's actually, you know, there's special stuff that are used to correct, nail corrector, I believe it's called, something like that. Or if you don't have one, you can just, and then you just, you know, use alcohol or whatever cleaning solution you're using. So when it's wet with an alcohol, it will be much easier to fix the sidewall, you know, let's say like here. So we accidentally applied some top coat on the side, and you just, you know, when you use not just a dry orange wood stick, but when it's with alcohol, or it may be just regular nail polish remover, or dehydrator will also work for it. Then you can have a clean sidewall. I have a UV and LED lamp, so how long should I cure the base coat if the manufacturer doesn't list in the instructions? I would say that's suspicious at first. Well, usually most base coats cure at 30 seconds, and some brands require 60 seconds. Well, try 60 seconds, 1 minute. I mean, that is definitely the top time. If it doesn't cure during 60 seconds, then there's something extremely suspicious about this product. All right, what's next in the program? All right, let's do the fun part, the color application. How to apply color close to the cuticle. So there are two, well, maybe there are more, but the two that I use. Brush from the bottle technique, so it's pretty simple to understand. You just use the brush that comes right in your bottle. And then you can also use the detailer brush, which I think the second technique is more suitable for beginners. Or I would also say the first one is more for risky people, you know, for people who like some danger and risk. And the second one is for people who prefer to play it safe. Okay, and we are going to, I'm going to show them both. But first, I would like to make sure that you guys were listening closely. Are you ready for a little test? Okay, so I'm going to show you pictures, and there will be numbers. Okay, so let's say this one, number one. There will be 7 pictures total, and you need to write down, well, to type down in the comments, numbers of the nails that are suitable for perfect gel manicure, like right now. And the ones that are not, just do not include them, okay? So this is number 1. If you think this one is suitable for perfect gel manicure, like right now, you can take the base coat, or you can take the color and start applying it, then write down number 1, okay? Not ready? Well, guys, you better be, because our time is limited. Okay, so there will be few numbers that you need to write down, total from 7 options. Okay, this is number 1. Next one is number 2. If you think that this one is suitable for perfect gel manicure, like for application, okay, whether of a base coat or a color, then write down this number. But do not send it yet, okay, because there are going to be a few. What about number 3? Is this one suitable for perfect gel manicure, or there's something about it that you're not sure? Okay, remember, I'm looking for ones that are suitable, okay? The ones that you would like to take right now and apply some cool nail art. What about number 4? Is this one is already fully prepped for the perfect gel manicure or not? I have that problem with the base touching the skin, but I'm trying hard to work on. Yes, well, maybe sometimes you can leave a bigger margin, try different consistency of the base coat, try to push back the sidewalls whenever you're holding the client's hand, but please, yeah, try to work on it because it's super important. Number 5, what about this nail? Is this one ready for the application? Number 6, Okay, and there's two more, this one and one more. Okay, well, at this point, I think I can see all kinds of numbers except for one. So I assume they're all suitable. Are you guys sure? And number 7, the last one. This is my nail, by the way. Maybe you recognize it if you've been watching enough of my videos. So can we take the base coat and start applying the color right now? And number 7. Okay, so I'm not sure if I remember all the numbers, so I would just like to go back and see. Okay, so number 1, not suitable. That's what most of you stated, and that is correct. This one is not suitable because we still have some cuticle right there on the nail plate, and this needs to be removed. And also seems like the surface shine is still there. Okay. Number 2. So what's wrong with this one? Number 2 is suitable. It's dry, the surface shine is off, the cuticle, I mean, the part of the skin is not trimmed, but that's okay. I mean, it will not really prevent us from applying the color. So yes, who said number 2 is suitable? That's correct. Number 3 is suitable also. So these are the nails with the, I think this is the hard gel overlay that was buffed or something, because there's definitely some product. Honestly, I don't remember because it was a while ago. That's a picture of my client, or whether it's a base coat that I buffed for some reason. That's why I decided to add this one, because it looks a little tricky, right? But this one is suitable. I mean, we can take the color and apply it right away. And this number is the same person as this one. It's just the nails right after dry manicure and prep. It's just they're a little bit full of dust, and there's no base coat yet, but they're also ready. So number 2, 3, and 4 are definitely suitable. And number 5 is 2. I mean, there might be a little, it's hard to tell if it's a small part of the skin in the corner, and I can also see some onycholysis, but overall, even though once again, the skin is there, I mean, the nail plate is definitely dry. There's no surface shine, so I would say number 5 is ready too. Number 6. The cuticle is not pushed back really well. We still have some leftovers of the product on the free edge that also looks yellowish. This client likes smoking a lot. And well, that's it. Okay, so that's why we cannot apply the base coat on top of it right away. We still need to do more prep and definitely to remove this yellowish color. So number 6, Number 7, what, nobody liked number 7. Oh no, actually some of you included this one. Well, even though maybe it looks tidy, even though it's full of dust, it's still not ready for the application, because you see there's some product remaining. It's not lifting, so it's fine. Yes, we can leave it and apply the base coat on top. But the outgrown part of the natural nail, it still has a surface shine on it. You see, it's not matte. It's not buffed yet. Hence, it's not ready. Okay. Not shaped properly. Okay, well, yeah, I didn't include the shaping part here. Okay, so number 2. Oh no. Number 2, 3, 4, and 5 are suitable, and all the rest are not. Okay, so I see, well, most of you included 2, 3, and 4, and some of you didn't like the 5 for some reason, but I hope I explained it well. Okay, so but good job, guys. Most of you did. I can see many good questions. Oh, I missed that there was shine on number 7. Lisa saying yes. That was tricky, you know. I tried to do it not as like completely simple, but I'm pretty sure that you guys already understand. And I'm really happy that you did good with this one. That means you did understand what I was trying to explain, and we can move further to the fun part. All right, let's do the color application, but first I will explain it to you once again, because I think everything is easier with the explanations. All right, this is the nail, and I will explain it first, then I will show it to you, and then I will show a pre-recorded video to you because there will be more details in it. Okay, so let's say we already did a perfect prep. The nail is just like on number 2, 3, 4, 5. It's all clean. The skin is all taken care of. It's not spreading anywhere. Base coat was also applied perfectly without touching the skin, without bubbles. It's all good, perfect smooth surface. Nothing is going to distract us from the perfect color application. Okay? So this is the technique that I recommend you to try. We are going to start with, with a dot that looks like this. This is the color you would like to apply. So you place it close to the cuticle, but not like super close, okay, on the safe distance. Let's see. Then I'm going to take the brush and press on it exactly like I'm showing you now on this brush, and then I'm going to take a little amount of this color and push it close to the cuticle, but not that close, so it's going to touch it. Okay, so it's going to create this perfect even line. Because I've seen it so many times when people just take the nail and they try to do this, basically to hand paint this cuticle line. And it's possible. I'm not saying it's not a technique. Of course, it is possible as long as your hand is super firm, it's not shaking, and you are able to do this perfect line. Because most of the times I'm not. Whenever I do this, there is some small line, it's shaking, or it's just imperfect. Okay? But when you do this, when you push the product, it's so much easier to form an even line. Okay, I am going to explain it differently, and let's pray that I will not make too much of the mess. And yes, this is powder, and I know it's weird, but trust me, it's all going to make sense in a little while. Okay, so okay, so that's this perfect, well, it doesn't look very perfect, but let's just pretend that it's this perfect line. It's just easier to show it with the powder. So what is going to happen if I just take the brush and go on top of this pile and just push it? What happened? Some of the product went here as we intended to, some of the product went God knows where, and some of the product is just nowhere. Okay. Okay, come back here. Now, what is going, actually, I do have a proper tool for it. Okay, so let's say I'm doing this again, and I'm going to push all of the powder, all of the product, which will be the gel, all the way to the cuticle, like a lot. Okay, like this. So what's happening now? Well, it looks pretty good, by the way, the line, but we have too much product here, right? This line is okay, but it's thick, which is also not the best idea. But if you are going to take a little amount of this powder and push some of it in front of the brush, little by little, it is going to form the perfect line. But it's still thick. I mean, this part is thicker than this one, obviously, because we were pushing. That's how pushing works. That's why our next step will be taking the brush, making it flat, and going on top to apply the color. Well, I will not be able to show it to you the proper way with the powder. That's why I would like to do it on the scheme instead. Okay, so the first part is pushing this drop all the way to the cuticle. And once you do that, if you do it all like properly, it is going to look a little bit like this. We will have a little thickness near the cuticle, but not too much. If it's, you know, like this, then you overdid it, obviously. Then we take the brush that is going, well, it's not, okay, so the bristles of the brush should be flat at this point. Okay, and I'm going to put the brush on top of this pile and even it out all the way to the nail. Well, it depends on the size of the nail and on the product you're working with. Some colors just will not be able to spread all the way until the free edge, but that's okay. Sometimes it will be like this. But we will get rid of this thickness and we will smooth it out. It may be not making much sense to you now. Let me know if it does. But I promise it will in a couple moments, because I'm going to show you the demo that I recorded yesterday in my studio, because I am going also to show you another way with a detailer brush on my nail today. But I decided to record this one in advance because I really wanted to show you like a good close-up, and unfortunately it's not always possible within the equipment and the quality of live streaming video, and there is really some, you know, details that I didn't want you to miss. So I hope you guys will be okay with it, and I'm pretty sure you will like it. So I used my friend, the plastic hand, and now I'm going to explain the same thing that I did to you, but when applying the color. So when you're doing this first drop, you need to clean the brush from one side only. Then this is how this drop is going to look like. You do not really have to leave it on the nail for a long time like I'm doing it now. I'm just doing it to show you. And then you need to clean the brush from both sides like this. So it is almost clean. There is still some product on it, but not too much. And the brush should be flat at this point. And then you see with the tip of the brush, I'm pushing this product close to the cuticle, so it is forming this perfect even line. And it's going really close to the cuticle. I mean, you can see it right now, right? And this is how, so when we go all the way to the sidewall, then we can do this move with the brush. And you can also see that the product near the cuticle is slightly thicker than on the rest of the nail at this point. Whenever I cover the sidewall, sometimes I miss a little spot, so I'm not going to touch the sidewall. Then I clean the brush again. It's super flat. It's almost clean now. There's no extra color. Now, you see from the side view, there's a little bump near the cuticle that we are about to spread out. And then with the flat brush, I take this excess amount from the cuticle area and spread it out to the nail. Since I have a long nail with a long tip, for this demo, it was not enough to cover the entire nail, and that's fine. Then you just take the additional product from the bottle and cover it entirely. So I think this technique is way easier and more effective to create a perfect line because we do not, in this case, we will not really rely on our hand a lot. The product will kind of do everything for you. But the trick is you need to push a little amount of the product there, not too much, because if you're going to push a lot, it still may touch this cuticle or even flood it. And then we just spread it out. And you can easily, so you see, there is a little gap on the sidewall, and I usually leave it like that on real people, because whenever you try to cover the entire sidewall, most likely we're going to touch the skin. So this is how it looks after curing. I didn't use any small brush. I did it all with a regular brush from the bottle. Okay, this is the second coat. The second coat is very similar, but it's way faster, and usually with the second coat I do not care about this perfect line as much, because if the product you're using has a good coverage, has a good intensity of the color, then it's just enough to do this with one coat, and the second one, if needed, maybe just a thin coat on top of it. Okay, and so we just apply it on top. Just make sure that the second coat is also as even as possible. If you had some imperfections, let's say brush strokes in the middle, then we can easily fix it with the second coat. And then we cover it all. So whatever, well, I was a little picky as this was the demo for you guys, so I really wanted to try to fix everything that's possible, but this is the color. We will also have a top coat on the top. So I cured it. I didn't apply any top coat on purpose, so you can see how it looks. Top coat will actually help to hide some imperfections, if any, but also most colors will spread out a little bit. I mean, if there are little imperfections, like a brush stroke, some products will help you to even them out, but not too much. Of course, if it's all like half of the nail is transparent and half is not, I mean, it's not necessarily going to be fixed. So let me guys know if you like this demo, and let's do another one on myself. So this one was for risky people. And another one will be for people who prefer to go, you know, to make it safe. I will show you the one with a small brush. So with some nails, with some people, it's not possible to go too close to the cuticle because some, you know, on some fingers, some cuticles, they're all the way like up, like on this plastic finger or like my nails. But sometimes it is so flat and so spread out that we cannot really make it look like the color is growing under the cuticle. So in this case, we just go as close as we can, and then we'll leave a tiny, teeny margin. Ideally, it should be tiny. If you're not confident about yourself yet, and you're worried that you may cause some allergic reactions, that the product may touch the skin, it's better to make this margin a little bigger. Okay. Okay, so this is my nail. I already did some prep. This is the best tip ever. Just tried it now and my life is so clean. Oh, my line, not life. Thank you so much. Can you share it? Actually, if you're logged in through nailsproacademy.com, there's an option to send a picture because I would love to see it. If some of you guys want to try it right now, let's do it right now with me. Just you can use the same plastic hand or better do it on yourself. Just apply any color close to the cuticle. I would love to like watch you do like your results. That's just one of the most you know, rewarding fun part for me. Okay, so I took off the product today in the morning. Oh my god, my nail doesn't look very nice, but that's kind of what you get when you have a hand of a nail blogger and a nail educator. You always experiment on yourself. Yeah, actually you can see it now, guys, right? The quality is not as good as a pre-recorded, so I think it was a good idea to record it first because, you know, I just worried when I will be showing it to you right now, I will be blocking the camera with my head all the time because I do it all the time. So maybe in the future I would also be able to do it sometimes during the webinars, so you can have a better picture. Okay, but this one is live. So I'm going to apply dehydrator. I already took off the surface shine, did all the prep, okay, so we're not going through this. And also it's important to apply the dehydrator underneath. But do you know what's the dirtiest part of the nail? Under the nails, of course. That's where all the dirt goes. That's why it is better to clean it like this, you know, with a lint-free wipe, not with a brush. I know I'm the minority, but I've always liked that little margin. Sure, I mean, guys, that's all up to you. That's the beauty of our job. Like, you can adjust anything to this style that you like. Seriously, like, I mean, your clients want it, you want it, but regardless of the size of the margin, whether it's super tiny or whether it's all the way here, it still always looks better when this line is, you know, perfect. Okay, let's do the base coat application. But first I will bring the lamp a little bit closer to me, so I will not have to run. Okay, so the first coat needs to be super thin because this is the adhesion coat. By the way, with the base coat, I do not usually follow this technique, because with that technique, the point is to get the perfect like color. With the base coat, if the line will not be as perfect, I mean, no one will see it. Just make sure that you cover all the parts that you need. So I'm working on myself, but when you're working on someone else, just make sure that you push back the side walls, because sometimes if you don't, you just won't cover everything you need. So this is how close I go, almost really close, but not touching. Okay, and cure for 30 seconds. The next coat is going to be a little different. I will apply a bit more base coat and build the structures. So I noticed that some of you were asking, like, how can you, how can you build a proper structure on the nail? So I'm going to show it to you now. It's going to be different depending on the size and the length of the nail. So you will see the version for short nails. But since I'm not able to pause because it's live, I mean, I will have to do it quick, okay? Because otherwise the product will start moving. Oh, okay, so we have first one from Diane. Not as perfect as it should be, but first time I have done her nails to Barbados for her wedding. Ooh, okay, looks nice. That's white with golden. Thanks for sharing, awesome. Do you put base coat on the very edge of the nail, like on the ends? I do, but if you were asking about the capping the free edge, not really. I mean, I do not pay attention to it as I used to, because honestly, I didn't notice much difference. I mean, I cap it with a top coat a little bit. Well, with the base coat, not really. But my nails are so thin, so if you, I mean, it won't make much difference whether you cap it or not, because no, it's still there. Still going to touch it. Okay, so this time I'm going to apply another thin coat first. Then I'm going to take a little bit more base coat, place it right here, similar to the scheme I showed you before with the color. Then I'm going to spread it here, and with whether you can use this detailer brush or the brush from the bottle, we're going to spread it. I wanted to see prep. Oh, sorry about that, guys. I just, what I learned from these webinars, it's better if I cover only one small topic. And actually today it's not really small. I mean, it's about the gel manicure, about the color application, because nail prep is another huge topic, which we definitely, may cover sometime else. It's just, what I also learned about lessons or education, when you're focused only on one certain thing or topic, it works better. That's why in our classes also we have so many lessons dedicated to only one thing, one skill, and they're all grouped into sections. Okay, so I applied this once again. Anytime you notice that something is touching the skin, like, do not panic, simply clean it. If you're using the gloves like I do, it's totally fine to do it with your finger. Well, at least, I mean, from my point of view, I don't see anything bad in it. Of course, you should not do it with your bare hands. So then I take a little bit more base coat than I did before. Take this drop, spread it. So you see it looks like a triangle. And then, okay, let me show you with a thin brush so I think you can see it better. And then I technically spread it out to one side and to the other. This base coat is like medium thin consistency, so it self-levels pretty fast. So I do not really need to wait too much. And also with a thin, oops, you see I touched my glove, which is not a problem. If it was skin, then it won't be any good. What we can also do is just turn the hand around. But once you do that, make sure that you're holding it straight, because you know it is very common, especially when you just tell a client, turn it around. And what she does, she just turns it, you know, like to the side, like this, and we end up with the product just on one side. All right, looks like it's fine, and we can cure it. And while in curing is the perfect time for your comments. Oh my goodness, new pictures. Veronica is sharing. Wow, Veronica, that's really good, and that's such a bummer I cannot show it on my screen now, but if you guys are, if you're at nailsproacademy.com, you can take a look at the picture from Victoria with neon pink nails. Awesome, like good job. That's really close to the cuticle, beautiful color application. Then we have Monica, still learning. Ooh, that's nice too. I think that's the color reflective color, right? The silver one. Looks so good. You guys are awesome. What kind of gloves do you use? These are nitrile. I always use nitrile gloves because, I don't know, I just like this material better. It just works better for me. I tried my best to clean this client's nails, but look how dirty they look. She has a very hard to push cuticle. Oh, Sulaima, I cannot see the picture from you yet. So if you guys are from the logged into nailsproacademy.com, on the there's a comment section, and then there's an icon of like, what's this thing for, like a staple. So if you click on it, you can include a picture. You use 10 coats of base. Yes, ma'am. That's what I did. And that's why we have not just a nail with a base coat, but we have a nice surface. Okay, so you can see that my nail, oh man, I should have showed this view before I applied it. Oh well. So my nail is, it's not like super flat, but it's rather thin. So now that I applied base coat, remember I put a drop right there. So now we have a little bit of apex, which is quite enough for this length because this nail is short, right? And that's all we need. Okay, so here's another tip. Then we're going to apply the color. And when you apply the color, normally you do not need to take off the sticky layer. Okay, that's what most companies tell you not to. And yeah, I mean, technically you don't have to. But some base coats have an inhibition layer that is very inhibition-y, you know, that is very sticky, I don't know, very slippery. And it's really makes it hard to apply the color. So in that case, it's totally fine to take it off. I remember when one time I shared this tip with someone. By the way, when you're taking this sticky layer off, also make sure that you're not touching the skin with an uncured product. I remember that this part used to shock so many people for some reason, but trust me, I mean, inhibition layer will not really change much. I mean, if now you take off the layer and then you're going to eat pancakes, let's say, with these nails with a base coat and not clean them after that, then yes, it is going to be a problem. But other than that, it won't. The reason I used to do this from time to time is because my clients, I don't know why, but every time I put just base coat or anything sticky on their nails, they tend to, you know, touch their face, and then I have all this, you know, highlighter on it, or touch something else, something gets stuck to it, and there was no other choice than to take it off. And then I applied the color, and you know what happened? Nothing. I mean, nothing really. And then I figure out that, I mean, this is definitely an okay technique to use. Okay, going back to my nail, let's do this technique that is for not the riskiest people on earth. Okay, so this is very similar. You see this drop? Oh, wait, we are actually doing the safe technique. Okay, so with the safe technique, it's all the same actually. If you are one of those people who are not too risky, but you want to try something risky, then you may still try this technique. But let's say at this point, you're like, oh no, oh my God, I'm afraid to go closer. Okay, so just don't do it. Just safely apply it to the rest of the nail. And I think this technique is so good for beginners. Oh my God, I wish I had smaller sidewalls. And then, well, we already have some extra product here, but also you may, okay, let me show you. So whether you can use a piece of paper or something. So I just need a teeny tiny amount of the product, because this is a big mistake when you're taking too much product on this detailer brush. You really need just a tiny amount, and then with this tiny brush, you can go closer to the cuticle. But honestly, I do not think that this is also the easiest technique. It just feels safer because this brush is small, right? And even if you will touch the skin, it'd just be a tiny dot, and it's definitely longer. However, I do use this technique sometimes too, because with some types of cuticles, this is the only way to get that close to them. Okay, so this is another one you can try. But for the sake of the time, you know, because I believe you really want to, oh man, there's just some fuzz. If you really want to be able to do the quick color application, the first technique I think will be definitely better for you. Okay, so there's not enough color here, but I think we're going to fix it with a second coat. So this is the view how I usually check. See, we did not apply enough product right here to the sidewall. So I would like to show you the gap I always leave. So even though I cover the entire sidewall on the free edge, but right here, actually, so I leave a little bit uncovered, but I still make sure that this line is straight. I hope it makes sense, because once you let go, you see it's still going to look nice. This part is going to be hidden under the skin. So what's the point of applying it? Let me guys know if it did make sense, because there's so many nails that have this wide shape, and I think there's no point of applying color all the way to the sidewall, because these corners, they will still be hidden under the sidewalls. If a client has this perfect, narrow, beautiful shape with the straight and symmetrical sidewalls, then yes, absolutely we can cover it all. Oh wow, we have more. We have so many new masterpieces. Soleima is sharing. Oh, okay, yeah, now I understand what you meant by the client with cuticles that are hard to, but good job on the French manicure. Hema, my first nails picture. Oh no. Oh no. Okay, picture didn't send earlier. Oh wow, that's a good one. The nude pink nails. Dahlia, this is mine. Ooh, I love this. Is like the heart-shaped opal nails. Beautiful. You guys are amazing. I didn't do this right now, but I think I get too close on the index. Zachary's saying, yeah, actually in the finger, on the index finger, you're the closest. Actually, good job on the color application and the French. Try this technique I showed you today. I think you will like it, because I can see you're good with the color application on the top, but going closer to the cuticle, just try the trick I showed you. I think it will definitely work. Something simple with a little bit of glitter Jody is sharing. Oh, I like the pink neon, yeah, and the glitter. Good job, Lipa. Oh, wow, that's a perfect color application. Annika, this is a set from a few months back. Okay, oh, nice. There's like a marble with the golden lines. Awesome, guys. Thank you for sharing. Meanwhile, I cured my first coat, and let's do the second one and the top coat. I thought gel only stuck to sticky. Jetson, yeah, well, I know this is, like I said, when I showed this trick, many people were like shocked, like, oh my God, how can you apply something not on top of the sticky layer? But the point is, actually, some base coats, they do feel like they also already do not have the sticky layer like at all, and they still work pretty good. So it's about the product, not sticky layer. But of course, we should not have anything in between the layers. Like I said, like oils or shisha, my cat's fuzz, or, you know, whatever else, because this will prevent us from the good adhesion. But other than that, it's all good. Oops. Okay, so I think now you can see that color application, I mean, there is two techniques that I showed you, but it's not really a rocket science. So as for capping the free edge with the color, I always just take a look at the nail. Sometimes I do cap, sometimes I don't. Well, now I probably feel like it. Okay, so this technique with the so you see this happens. When it's this small, I just usually use my hand. But with clients, I would hold it like this. Okay, so normally it will not happen. So I just cleaned it with a glove, and that's it. You can also use the orange wood stick or whatever other tool that you like. Okay, let's cure, and then we will need to seal it with a top coat. Oh my goodness, I have so many opened windows now with your pictures. I need to close them because I really do not want my computer to freeze. Nicola shared, oh, this is the one that you just did with the red nail. That's so beautiful. And good job with this, with the line. It's actually perfect. Awesome. I'm so glad to see you guys like practicing right now, because I'm also like that, you know, whenever I see something, some trick or some new, I don't know, like design idea, I want to try it right away. So if you do have products right now, an opportunity to try this, please do, because I mean, you know, this is like the law of education. Whenever you get some new information in your head, I think you're aware that most of it is going to evaporate over time. But if you are going to use this knowledge like now, and ideally use it, I mean, by trying, then it is going to turn into skill. Mary Becker, my favorite nails I done a month ago. Oh, cool, the Halloween set. I love it. Did you hand painted them? Awesome. I'm jealous, actually. I'm not that good at hand painting. Okay, then we have a nails for fall style nails from Susan. Mine from a month ago before my allergy kicked in. Oh, I'm sorry about the allergy, but I like the design. This hand definitely needs washed. It's a little fuzzy, but I like your technique, Michelle sharing. Oh, okay. So you did the red very good. There is the right side of the color is a little bit higher, so I would try to practice that line again, but that's really good. And yeah, those plastic hands, yeah, I also have this, you know, over time they get this small, I don't know, pieces of dust or whatever it is on them. So yeah, I need to clean them from time to time. All right, let's do the sealing with the top coat, which Sometimes I use a very similar technique that I showed you with the base coat, that I apply a coat first, then I apply a tiny drop on top and make it self-level to make this, perfect structure on top. So this is how also I make it slightly thicker and stronger, but it's still not too thick. I mean, right? You can not really tell. Honestly, I think, in my opinion, the ideal perfect application like gel overlay is when you look at the nails and they'll almost seem like it's a nail polish, right? It's so, well, technically it cannot be as thin as nail polish. It'd still be thicker, but almost. And one of the secrets is just not applying it super thin, because if we just apply super thin, it's not going to be strong enough. The point is that we apply an extra product only in the center, and this is how we still keep this beautiful structure of the nail, and we do not make it bulky, like it's not going to look thicker or bigger. Okay, so top coat needs to cover the entire nail. With the top coat, by the way, I use the similar technique as the color, but since it's clear, I'm afraid you guys will not be able to see this detail. But remember, push the product on like ahead of the brush, and this will help you to form this perfect line. So sometimes I just do this thin coat. Sometimes I add a little drop on top. I use this technique a lot whenever I do any kind of nail art, because most nail art, even if it's just hand painting, it still adds some product on top, and the surface, it's not as smooth anymore, right? And the best way to smooth it out is with the top coat. So with the top coat, the same thing as the base coat. This one is, by the way, from the Pottle. I really like this one. Oh my god, I'm not showing it to the frame. Okay, the luster, because this is no wipe. I like the consistency, and it's also soak off. But by the way, any no wipe top coats, they still, I mean, the top coat itself needs to be filed off, but I mean, it works with the soak off systems. All right, see, the gravity helped us a lot. Okay, if you see something that you don't like, just feel free to fix it, but I think we're good. Okay, let's cure. And while I'm curing, I'm going to, oh my goodness, we have so many new nails. I will quickly take a look at the comments from the YouTube. Can you add top coat to a cured top coat? That's a great question, Jetson. Sometimes you can, sometimes you don't. It depends on the product. Sometimes I tried the no wipe top coat on top coat and it was totally fine. One time I tried it after curing, it all went to the center. So it just, some products can do it. But ideally you should not, because top coat or whatever gel should not be on top of something shiny and cured, you know, like the no wipe top coat. No color, just clear hard gel overlay to protect my nails. I always get breaks in autumn and spring. Omnia. Ooh, nice. You have a long nails. I don't have a fake finger, so I tried it on my partner. Hema, good job. Ooh, very good. The product is a little thick on the left side. I think you can see it by this part, but the color and all the rest is awesome. Good job. All right, and meanwhile, the nail is fully cured and all shiny. So you see, it's still looks very thin. However, remember, we added an extra layer of base coat and the top coat. So I would say we have a pretty strong overlay here. And the color well, it still is close to the cuticle because we used the no risk technique. But you can use the risky one too. All right. I feel so privileged to be taught by you. Thank you so much. Sure, you're welcome. All right, so if you would like to be able to do all that, when I was applying the base coat and the color, it was pretty easy, not because I know how to do it, but also because when you have a clean prepped nail, we just did this game when you were looking at the nails and telling which number is easier to, for you to, not easier, which numbers are ready for the application. And I think you understood that some nails are, you cannot just take color and apply them, they really need some prep. That's why prep is very, very important. And I myself prefer doing dry manicure. Electric file manicure, also known as Russian manicure. So I think this is like the easier path to be able to learn all that, is to learn electric file manicure, to do perfect shaping, because shape is important too. Color and designs are good, but shape also needs to be consistent. You also need to have some anatomy, some basic product knowledge, like some parts of the knowledge that I gave you today. So now you have a better understanding, at least of how to keep yourself and your clients safe. Then you need to do some hands-on practice. Unfortunately, there's no way around that. We cannot just keep that, because we need to get the actual skill that we want to acquire and then get certified. Now I will talk a little bit about the classes that we have on Nails Pro Academy. Favorite set so far, Kim. Ooh, wow, that's a beautiful set, green and white. Yeah, I like it too. Okay, so how does online education at Nails Pro Academy works? I can see some students from the Nails Pro Academy, so you guys already know how it works, but I would like to briefly explain it to someone who is new here. Because I know that many of you are just watching my channel, and sometimes you're like, oh, Anastasia, you have classes? Like, why you never told us? Well, that's why I'm sharing this now. So the online education, these are pre-recorded lessons. It's not a live stream like right now. It's a pre-recorded lesson with a good quality equipment, so you can see all the details, which I think is important when you are doing the learning how to do manicure, how to do prep. Well, I just showed you the pre-recorded video, right? And I just showed you another demo, which I did now. So I'm pretty sure it was easier to watch the first one, right? Because I pre-recorded it, with a better lens, and, the quality of streaming is also different. So all our classes, they're pre-recorded, and you can watch them anytime, anywhere, using any device, whether it's laptop, iPad, whatever works better for you, like during your commute, whenever you have the access to the internet. And then you will need to submit assignments. A little similar to what we just did now, but now you were just sending me pictures and I was answering live. And there you will have to send them in a special section and take them in a certain way. Like here's one of the examples, before and after picture. Like there's an instruction on how to take picture, how do you need to hold your hand. And this is, to me, this is just the best way to learn, just to show your work. And then you will get feedback, whether from me, or we also have Elinda now joining our team. By the way, Elinda was one of our students who completed almost all classes, I believe, and now she's an educator. So this is also one of the ways to grow within our team. So the educator will give you your comments. So I don't know if it's big enough and you can see some, marks like this moon is not good, this one is not good, and the ring finger is okay. There's a green check mark. So you will get an explanation and a scheme like this one's not good and here's why. And now you need to fix this one. So if it's all good, you will get your assignment accepted. If it's not so good, you will need to redo it. And once again, I think this is like the best way to achieve a best result. Then you submit the final assignment. This is the picture from one of our students, by the way. Like the last one where you will need to do your final assessment work, and then you will get certified. You will get certificate from us. And this is the example of how the gel manicure certificate looks like. And we have a separate certificate for each class. So gel polish online class. This was blocking this part. So it's recommended for pros because it includes only the gel polish application. There's one color application, French manicure, moon manicure, troubleshooting like bubbles, cracking, and more. Tips and hands-on practice, but it does not include dry or e-file manicure. So this is all about gel polish and how to apply it. That's why I recommend this course only for those who are already confident about their dry manicure or any other type of manicure skills. And these are some of the results that you will get. I think I can talk about our classes forever, of course, because you know, I'm the founder of Nails Pro Academy, and this is my passion, and I love my job, obviously. But I think the results speak better than words, so I'll just show you a few pictures of our students. And these are graduation works that they did when they were graduating from this class, the gel polish class at Nails Pro Academy. So they could do French or one color. Well, maybe some of those maybe not graduation, just during the class. Yeah, actually this one was for the French manicure assignment. And if someone recognized their works, let me know. So I think that these works are pretty amazing, and I feel so proud because, you know, back then in the, what was that, 6 years ago when we started, when so many people were saying that, Anastasia, your idea will never work. People will never try to learn online, like how to do nails, because it's not possible. They will never be able to learn. But every time I see these beautiful works by our students, I understand that, you know, it was a good idea, and I think my I cannot change. Okay, I can change the slide of my presentation. I actually clicked it. Oh yeah, I clicked it too much, and now we have to go all the way back. But that's fine because we missed more beautiful works. Okay, Samantha, I love this class so much. Can wait for more. And sharing the red nails. Good job. You should also try the trick I showed you today. I think you will do this line even closer to the cuticle. Okay, so we have online classes for perfect manicure. First one is gel polish class, and another one is electric nail file manicure. The second one is way bigger. It includes around 70 lessons, and it's all about cuticle care. Like, there are many lessons like how to hold a handpiece, how to work with electric nail file, how to work with certain types of cuticles, how to shape natural nails, how to do the men's manicure, how to work with a certain nail drill bits, what's the difference between diamond, carbide, and ceramic drill bit, and so much more. So this offer is for those who want to master it all, not only the gel polish application. And I would like to show you how it looks inside. So once you log in through nailsproacademy.com, we have our own educational platform. This is what you will, well, not exactly what you will see, but once you open the gel polish class, and this is, yes, this is the video I recorded, so I'm just scrolling through the lessons so you guys will have an idea. I decided not to list all the lessons on the screen because there are 70 of them. I just didn't want to make you scared. 70, that's the electric file manicure class, the next one. This one is 30-something lessons. This one is way smaller. So you can see that it includes a quiz, a final exam, and once you pass through all of them, you will get a certificate. And this is the electric file manicure class. This is the bigger one. It starts with the orientation class, which we will also have whenever you enroll to this course. And this orientation class is a live stream, just like webinar, where I will just explain how it works, you know, how to pass the class and so on. So it includes disinfection, sterilization, dry heat sterilizer, how to hold a handpiece, types of drill bits, abrasive. So technically all the knowledge you need to have in order to do a proper dry manicure and cuticle care. So we talk about every single bead separately, nail diseases and disorders, Then we do exercises just to understand how to work with every single bead. Then there's a scheme, then there is some exercises with a plastic finger, with a file, and then only after that we turn to the hands-on practice. And I show you how to do manicure on the different nail types, and I think this is... So as I'm talking, I'm just scrolling through the lessons. I mean, some lessons are short, some of them are longer. Just imagine how much information is included there. So this will be our top nail technician offer. Gel polish class plus electric nail file manicure class. Okay, so two offers. First one is top nail technician offer, gel polish class plus electric nail file manicure class. And the second offer, it's called mini offer because it includes gel polish class only. Okay, it's pretty simple. So each class includes, whether it's mini offer or the big offer, CEU credits. If you are from the US, you'll probably know what it is. It's a continuing education unit. You'll get a certain amount of units. I will show you actually how many for each class in a few moments. And you can use them towards your continuing education if it is needed in your state, because I know that not all states require it, but if renewing your license is required in your state every year, like in Florida, then like in Nevada, I believe, then you can use it. Teacher graded assignments, certificate of completion once you finish the class, and lifetime access to students' chat. We have a chat in Telegram where we chat about different things. And you will stay there forever, by the way. It will not end once your class. This class is only for people with nail tech licenses. Catherine, no, because we are international school, and in most countries there is no such thing as nail tech license. So anyone can join. However, the certificate we provide at the end does not equal license. Okay, so license is something that you need to get in your local state board. But we do give CEU credits, which may be used towards, as an addition towards like renewing license. So no, it is not required, absolutely. So the gel polish class has 4 months access, so you will have 4 months to complete this class. And trust me, 4 months, it's more than enough because there are not that many assignments. It has 10 CEU credits, teacher graded assignments, certificate of completion, and international students chat. The top nail technician, which includes gel polish and nail file manicure, has 9-month access because for this one you will have 2 classes to pass, and 9 months is also just more than enough to pass them, and you will get 40 CEU credits, and all the same that I just listed. Classes start on October 25th. If for some reason you're unable to well, first of all, you will have, it's not like the class starts on October 25 and you need to be there on October 25. Remember, it's an online. So that means on October 25th you will get an access to this class, but then you will have 9 months to complete it all. And trust me, even if you, I'm a fast learner. I usually, once I'm excited, I just do it all. So it's technically possible. We had students who finished it within 1 month, but for 1 month you need to submit assignments a lot, like 3 times a week, something like that. So do not worry if you're busy on this exact day or October 26th, then we have a Halloween, right, and maybe some more vacations, and then we have Christmas. Do not worry about that. There's plenty of time to do that, but still be aware that the time is limited. It's not like we give you 5 years ahead of time. And that's on purpose, by the way, because you will not really learn if you will take one lesson every 3 months. Okay, it still have to be organized in some time frame. I hope that makes sense. But also you will get bonuses. So there will be an orientation class on October 24th, where I will get you familiar with the school, we will get to know each other. And also this time, for this orientation class, I decided to include some tips on how to promote yourself as a nail tech. And for some current students of Nails Pro Academy who's watching now, if you already took these classes, let's say you don't need them, you are also welcome to join the orientation class because there will be a little bit new tips on promotion. There will also be a Q&A live stream for students only, where I will reply to your questions only. We will gather together on a certain date. We will notify you later about the date. Maybe we will even pick it together. But the replay will also be available, so do not worry if you're unable to join. And then we will also give you a webinar replays of Russian manicure, how to work with the file, and deep powder overlay nails, because these topics are very similar. So if you guys really have very important questions, let's give them 5 more minutes. If you have any, I'm willing to reply on them, because I promised actually the Q&A session, the promised one. And actually there was a very good question. I would try to scroll back through it because everything. Okay, so yes, formaldehyde is correct. I mean, it's one of those 3 free that shouldn't be there, but I mean, the question was regarding the 3rd ingredient. Where do I sign up, Kathy? So you're watching from the YouTube, so under the video there's the link. You need to click on it, and once you do, you will be transferred to Nails Pro Academy website. Let me see. Yes. Then you click join us if you're not registered to this webinar yet. Fill in your email, your name. Phone is not necessary, by the way. You can skip this field if you don't want to. Then you click sign up today, and there will be the same webinar you're watching now on the Nails Pro Academy. And under the video there are 2 offers with the top nail technician and gel polish offer. So pick the one that you like. Couldn't find the class. Okay. Okay, thank you so much. Yeah, I can see that you. Okay, questions. Jamira, I have a hard time applying sheer gel polishes without streaks. Any tips? Sheer gel polishes. Yeah, so sheer gel polishes are tricky because unlike, colors that are not sheer, every small move and you can see this difference. So first of all, do not press too much on the brush. Most brush strokes appear when the brush is dry. So remember I showed you this brush that we clean from both sides and then it's dry when we do the color application technique. With the sheer color, do the opposite. Leave a little bit product on the brush. Don't make it too dry. And also do not press too much. Just imagine that your brush is going on top of the whipped cream. Okay? If you will press all the way down, that not going to be good. But if you do it lightly like a feather, it's going to even out easier. Also, if the consistency is medium to thin, you can do this gravity help me technique. Just turn it around. Enjoyed the webinar. Sure. Thank you for doing this. Yeah, you guys are so welcome. Michelle is asking, is it fine to use a thin consistency base like Luksha X Bond with rubber base on top to build the apex for problem nails? Yes, I mean, I do it all the time. However, sometimes some products will not be very compatible, especially from the different brands. So I recommend you to do a test on yourself first to see how it works, because most of the time it does, especially if the thin coat of the base that you apply first is like super thin. But if I'm just not sure, oh, you didn't name the top build. So if it's from the same brand, then yes, most of the time it perfectly works together. So yeah, actually this technique is great for combining, because flexible base coats have a great adhesion. That's what we need for thin, for brittle nails. And the builder has a thicker consistency, which allows us to build the structure. Why does the skin around my nail peel for more than a week after doing my nails? That's actually not a good sign, but I actually had that for a while, and then I noticed it was because I used the soaking off method. I had it after acetone. and sometimes using too much dehydrator around the skin. So you may try to reduce that, or if you do soak off method, then apply any kind of moisturizing cream around the skin first. Or maybe an allergic reaction, so just try changing the products. Difference in gel and shellac. Well, hard gel is perfect for extensions. For overlays, sometimes, but only if the nails are strong and healthy. If they're thin, brittle, I would not recommend gel for overlay. Shellac is the same as gel polish, is the C&D product, is the combination of gel and nail polish, and is also known as soft gel or soak-off gel, and it's actually designed for the overlays. So gels for extensions, gel polish for overlays. Is primer very important? For extensions, it is. For overlays, sometimes I use it on the free edge, but I recommend using only a non-acid primer. I use it on the free edge whenever I feel like nails are too brittle or peeling, and I'm just worried that the product is going, to lift from the free edge. Yeah, I have the hardest time with the milky white gel polish and streaks. Yes, milky gel polishes are tough. That's why the same tips as I mentioned earlier for the semi-transparent colors. Light touch, do not press on the brush too much. Use the gravity help, whatever you need it, and we have the strokes when we press on the brush too much, and we have it when the brush is dry. So try to keep it a little bit in the product all the times. Sign up for both classes. Oh, Julie, welcome. I'm so glad. Actually, every time we have this webinar and like a new amount of students coming up, usually there's more activity in the chat because new people are coming, they're starting to get to know each other. That's awesome. Can we use different brands of base color and top coat? Mega, that's a great question, and sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. The thing is, some brands design their base coats and top coats, and they're very close to hard gel. Even though it's a soak-off gel, it's still, remember this flexibility test? Some products are very flexible, sometimes are not. So that's why some of them may not be combined. So you need to be careful when doing that. But if you use a top coat, if you apply it very thin, if you do not use the technique I showed you with this drop on top, you just apply a very thin coat, most of the time it's going to work. How can someone file better with the non-dominant hand? Oh my God, Chantel, I wish I knew the answer because I'm still struggling. How many years I'm doing nails? I've stopped on counting. What's 2021? So with me, oh my goodness, it's gonna be 17 years. I'm doing nails and I still don't like it. Well, just practicing more with your non-dominant hand. I think you can tell so my right hand is outgrown like almost halfway because I'm still lazy to, renew it, and I already did 2 fills for this one. So it will always be a little bit of a struggle, and the only way to file better is to practice more. Can I have some products? Do you mean the list of the products? There's the link at nailsproacademy.com for the product list that you will need for each class. Okay. Where can I buy materials and products needed? I'm having a hard time finding things. We don't have much here in Philippines. Kim, yeah, we actually provide a list of websites that have them, but I'm not sure about the Philippines because most of them are located in Europe or United States. However, we can share the names of the brands, like the ones I shared today. Maybe you can try to Google them. I'm sure some of them may have some representatives in your country. I mean, there should be something, right? Can you show your blue dehydrator? We'll love to know the brand. Michelle is sharing. Yeah. So I'm not sure. I think it's an old version of it. Now I think it looks different, the new package. So it's by NSI. It's 3-in-1. Some brands have a similar product. So it's like sanitizer, dehydrator, and well, you can use it for taking off the sticky layer too, not only for dehydration. And yes, it's blue because it contains this triclosan, the kind of component you have in a toothpaste. And yeah, this is awesome, but now I think they discontinued this use, unfortunately. It's, we just have too many products that I'm ever be able to use through my entire life. I wish they didn't use the word gel in gel polish. People always ask for gel nails when they mean gel polish nails. Jamie, yes, that's always such a misunderstanding. I always get confused too, especially on these terms like gel powder nails. I mean, clients are even more confused than we are. I mean, we sometimes are having like, by gel, do you mean a hard gel? Do you mean a soft gel? Do you mean a gel polish or a gel paint? Even we get confused, and I mean, clients are even more. Is recommendable use always the drill to remove hard or soft gels, including gel polish? Tatiana is asking. Well, I prefer this method because it's faster, and also because you can leave a little bit of old product if it's okay, if it's not lifting, and continue working. You cannot do it with socking off. So I mean, it's just I prefer it for these reasons, but sock off method is also okay for sock off products. But for hard gel, the filing off is the only way you can remove it, because you cannot sock off the hard gel. Have you tried the brand Marinade? Sorry, no, unfortunately. Polygel with or without base coat? With, definitely with. When I first tried it many years ago, I was one of the lucky persons to try it first, by the way. I didn't use the base coat, and over time there were some problems. Some clients were okay, some were not. We always use base coat, whether it's a gel polish, whether it's a hard gel extensions. With acrylic system, it's a primer, so I recommend to use it all the time. It's better this way. Is the dehydrator similar to C&D Scrub Fresh? Exactly. Thank you for that name. I forgot what's called in C&D. Yeah, some brands also have this similar 3-in-1 products. Exactly. Scrub Fresh is a similar product. The NSI still sold. I bought it less. Oh, thanks, Olinda. I just thought they renamed it or something, but yeah. Awesome then. Nail Pure Plus. That's what the name of the products that I used. Will the e-file class be posted to join? It already is. Under the video, there is a package that's called Top Nail Technician. It includes electric file manicure class and gel polish. Posted, if you mean, will you be reminded on the email? Yes, once you join the class, you will get an email reminder. So please make sure we are not in the spam. You can add our info@nailsproacademy.com into your address book, so you will get notifications from us, or you can log in to system and read the letters there if for some reason you just wish to not receive the messages through email. Okay. Oh wow, we have more questions. Okay. What gel is good for natural nail? Oh wow, that's a big question. Well, I recommended some brands today already. There are many good gels, but for overlay, I think the best gels are the ones that are soft gels. Can I use rubbing alcohol in place of dehydrator? I think that it is better to use professional products. You can use alcohol to take off the sticky layer, but dehydrated, it's better to use the actual product. As a working mom, online classes to perfect and learn gel nails is convenient and the perfect way to learn, Natanya. Yes, thanks. Actually, we have so many interesting people joining us, some like working moms. Actually, we had a student, so there's the first lessons where people get to know each other, like, introduce themselves. And there was this lady, I believe she said she has like 11 kids or something. And I read that already when she graduated from a few classes. So I was just collecting some feedback. Then I noticed that and I was like, oh my goodness. And she was able to to complete all these classes, and also people from all over the world. And yes, because online gives you a flexible schedule, you can work at your own time. I know that some people like to send assignments during the nights, some people do it during the day, so yeah, it's all up to you. What about e-file giveaway? Okay, so this giveaway will be among students only for those who join these offers today or tomorrow during next 2 days, and I will post it. I can post it in the students chat, Telegram, and in both in stories, so people will not miss it. So it will be in 2 days. All right, guys, so thank you so much. It's 2 hours and 40 minutes already. We're 40 minutes more, but honestly, I didn't even notice how time passed. It was so quick because I had so much fun. Thank you all for this energy, for all your questions. I'm sorry if I had to miss some of them because I didn't expect that it will be too many, but it's still such an honor to me, and I will try to do my best to respond to some of them later, to cover them in my next videos, in my new webinars, in my Instagram, you know, everywhere. So make sure to keep in touch. Besides my okay, which way I should show? It's already nighttime here. So this is the list of the social medias that we have, Nails Pro Academy. Make sure to follow them so you will not miss the updates. And I also have some of my own, like this, YouTube. I'm also on Instagram, not that much on Facebook or Snapchat. So Instagram and YouTube is where I spend most of the time. Thank you, it was awesome. Thank you, Michelle. I'm currently taking Acrylic 1 class and love it. Awesome. Guys, you are amazing. Thank you so much for joining. I'm wishing you a great Sunday if it's still an early time in your area. If it's nighttime, then sweet dreams and have an awesome upcoming week. And I will see you soon through all of the social media. Goodbye.